Well, hey, good to be here at Rutledge Cab Company, downtown. Obviously, great food, and I just appreciate y'all coming out. We all run tight schedules, and there's a lot of responsibility on really everybody's shoulders sitting here. So thanks for taking time out to come and just talk really about like faith and culture and how what you do is impacted by what you believe. Obviously, you're doing work, so to speak, in your hometown. So these are the streets you grew up in. These are you're driving past schools that you went to. What's that like? I mean, what's your heart for the community or like the people that you've known your whole life, and how does that impact what you do or how you do your day-to-day as far as a job?
Yeah, well, I always say that my job right now is a dream job. I get to basically do what I do on the road, but I get to do it in my hometown. Not everybody can say that. Usually if they want to, do great things, they think they have to move out of their hometown. In my case, I can stay right here and make an impact on the people that I love, the places that I grew up in. So, man, I can't beat it. I love it.
That's good.
The Lord really kind of put on my heart just to serve this specific community on the peninsula. So it's just really cool being from here and having all these memories, and growing up from Charleston and coming down here, and then just actually getting to be a part of the community, not just in it.
I can kind of relate to both. Like Chris said, his dream job. Ever since I was 5 years old, my mom said that I wanted to be a college football coach. Yeah. I've always wanted to be a coach. I've always wanted to use that platform to be able to really invest my time into kids that are 18 to 22 years old, the most influential times of their lives. Sure. Yeah. That's what I've had coaches all throughout my life where I was like, I want to be like that.
Where did the seed of I want to be a coach, or I want to start a nonprofit, or I want to serve the community that I grew up in, like if you had to say like what influences fueled that in your life, who would they be or what would they be?
Yeah, it's easy for me to say. Before I always wanted to be a big leaguer, play MLB baseball, just like every other kid out there, or be an NFL player or NBA player, shooting threes like Steph Curry. We always want to do these things. And then some things in our life happen, and it kind of shifts our perspective on things. Yeah. And mine was my mom being murdered, so whenever she was taken away from me, kind of my thought process shifted a lot. And instead of just about me, it became about what can I do for other people?
Yeah, that's good.
Maybe who can I stop from doing something terrible to somebody else the way somebody did something to my mom?
Right.
So it all kind of shifted when my mom was taken away from me.
My brother committed suicide when I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
If I can influence someone's life from not doing that, or guide someone's life who's been through that, that's all that matters. Yeah. And I get to do that through football, which is awesome.
Do a sport you love, which is dope.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I love that, man.
It's interesting to me that we all kind of have a story of loss that somewhat motivates us or fully motivates us. And mine was the loss of a boyfriend at the time that was fully a part of Charleston Hope and thought we were going to do all of this together. And he died suddenly when I was a junior in college. And that shifted so much of the work that I did with Charleston Hope, because I truly began to experience, what does hopelessness actually look and feel like? And that's what a lot of our students and families can feel. And they'll tell you that at times of stuck in poverty, how do I get out? And so it's just been cool to see how the Lord has just shifted and how he begins to kind of break your heart for what breaks his. Yeah. And to find the motivation in that has been honestly something that's really special to get to do.
Okay, here comes the good.
So many fries. Woo, pregnant woman's dream.
I just love the words of Paul to Timothy. He says, like, don't let anyone look down on you because you're young. Yeah. But set an example for the believers in word and faith. And so right now it's like, okay, y'all are younger, you're not youth, right? But you're like, man, I got parents that might be watching this, or 50-year-olds might be watching this, and challenge them. What would you say right now? Like, this is what my generation needs to see, and this is how you need to lead. What would you say to your age group and even beyond about how to make a difference in whatever it is that God's got them positioned to do?
Already right now, I'm trying to live my life the way that I want my son to be like, dang, my dad is my hero. Yeah. So in 20 years, my son is 22. I want him to look at me and say, Dad, I looked at you this way, and that's why I'm successful. That's why I'm my way to be successful. I also think that, I always say if I can stop somebody from doing something terrible to people that look like me or vice versa, then my job is done. Yeah. And in 20 years, I think that hopefully, God willing, that will continue to happen. I've already had people say, Chris, your story of forgiveness has changed my life.
Absolutely.
And I can't see that stopping anytime soon because I'm going to keep telling it to whoever wants to listen. And even if they don't want to listen, they're probably going to hear it.
I love it.
I could go anywhere. It's like when I started and when I left, I hope it's going to be a better place because I made some kind of impact on it. It doesn't matter if it's through an entire coaching staff or an entire team. It could just be one kid, and that's perfectly fine.
Man, that's great.
And that's really where it's like, that's where you define a culture and where you define your legacy. And it may not be this big thing, but there can be one little minute thing. It can be one kid, and that's it.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, that's like exactly what I was thinking because
Especially like the mission statement of Charleston Hub.
Yes, and a part of our culture is one of our sayings in our culture piece is that we believe every life matters, and so I want to be a person and lead an organization that isn't afraid to go into the places where most people will take a step back and stay a step back.
That's good. I mean, as a pastor, for me, I see church. So what we do on Sunday, like, it's the rallying point to kind of like gather back and energize so that we can mobilize what you guys are doing throughout the week. I mean, I think about like the collective impact, even this circle, and then like our entire church, and I go, man, if we can just be filled by the Spirit on Sundays and encouraged to go out and live out our faith, how big of a difference can we make in this city and even beyond this city? I'm so proud of y'all. I mean, honestly, I'm sitting here going, this is crazy how God's using you. And obviously, we have an amazing meal that we're about to dive into. So what I want to do, man, is can I just pray for it real quick? Bobby's halfway done. But I'm going to pray for it, and then we'll dive in.